So today we're going to be looking at this concept of cell specialization. So we already talked about cell differentiation and how cells can become specialized after they divide. So you might have a cell that can become a brain cell or a heart cell or a skin cell and have specialized looks to help its function. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what helps cell specialization. So let's define cell specialization first. It's when a newly divided cell starts to change in shape, inner structure, cytoplasm, and membrane composition so it can carry out specific functions in one's body. So just a quick couple examples of how a cell might become specialized. Skin cells tend to be long and thin. So a skin cell might be much thinner than other cells are. So that's a change in shape. Change in inner structure. A lot of muscle cells require energy. So many muscle cells will have extra mitochondria to help provide that energy. That's a change in inner structure. So you can see many cells will become specialized. So that way their structure can match their function. So one way that we can cause cells to specialize, come down here, is the contents of the cytoplasm. So in mitosis, each daughter cell receives identical sets of chromosomes, but you can get different cytoplasmic content. So the only thing that has to be the exact same during cell division, during mitosis, is you have to get an exact copy of the DNA. What the cell chooses to pass on in the cytoplasm can be different and can help to specialize a cell. Next factor is environmental influence. So this is a big one. So oftentimes you can have environmental factors that can help to impact cell specialization. So a couple different factors include temperature, toxins, and lack of nutrients. Temperature is a really practical one. So oftentimes temperatures can vary around cells, and that'll cause them to specialize. This can actually cause changes in different animals. Toxins, this is more of a negative one. So oftentimes toxins can have a negative effect on cells. Lack of nutrients can be related to that. So these are often concerns for pregnant women. You want to make sure as a pregnant woman, while your baby's cells are dividing, that you don't have any toxins in your body and you don't have a lack of certain nutrients, because that can have negative effects on your baby's cell specialization. Let's look at a really cool example for temperature. So here we have a cat. You can see that it's got darker coloration around its paws, its tail, and around its ears as well too. This is due to those areas of the body actually being cooler. So when this cat is developing, the cells that are in the feet, the tail, and the ears are actually cooler. Those cells are influenced to have a black pigment and appear black in color, whereas the actual body of the cat is kept much warmer. Since it's kept warmer, those cells are influenced to have a white pigment and they appear to be white. So that's just one physical way that you can actually see cell specialization and temperature working together. This is an example of a lack of nutrients. So spinal bifida is often caused in utero. So what spinal bifida is it's almost like an open spinal cord. It's a spinal cord defect where the spinal cord doesn't fuse at the bottom. So it can actually cause severe impairments in terms of motor impairments. It's caused by a lack of folic acid. So folic acid is really important, especially around week 6 of pregnancy, to ensure that that spinal cord will properly fuse. If you don't have folic acid, which is why so many prenatal vitamins have high folic acid, you are more likely to have spinal bifida. Another factor, and probably the factor that happens the most in your body, is neighboring cells. So neighboring cells tend to have the largest impact on cell specialization. They send signals to nearby cells, which alter their DNA. This has a very practical use because when a cell divides, it might be trying to divide what it wants or decide what it wants to be. So if a cell divides and a new cell is formed in your heart, chances are it is probably going to be a heart cell. So those neighboring heart cells will send out signals, causing it to specialize into a heart cell, which is what it should be. So it causes new cells after division to become similar to its neighbors, and that allows those cells in those areas of your body to actually specialize. One kind of cool factor, but something that has been seen as a disorder is this idea of polydactyly. So polydactyly is born with extra digits. So you can actually see an extra thumb here. What happens is here the neighboring signal didn't get shut off when it should have gotten shut off. So neighboring cells use chemical signals to cause surrounding cells to develop into digits. So these cells that were developing here were told to develop into a thumb, even though we already had a thumb. So you can have a negative side to this factor as well too. So those are all factors that can cause cell specialization, and this is what causes the various cells within our body. Now we're going to look at what happens when those specialized cells come together and form tissues.